In a quiet, secluded monastery nestled in the mountains, there lived a young student monk who had been practicing under the guidance of a wise and experienced master. The student had been in the monastery for several years, diligently working on his spiritual path, striving to attain inner peace and understanding. However, lately, something had been troubling him deeply. The young monk had become disillusioned with the environment around him. He felt that the other monks in the temple were not as focused on their practice as they should be. Some monks seemed consumed by petty politics, arguing over trivial matters that had no bearing on their spiritual growth. Others engaged in endless gossip, criticizing the behavior of fellow monks and even talking negatively about their master. Still, there were some who spent their entire day doing nothing of substance, drifting aimlessly through life with no apparent sense of purpose or direction. The young monk, feeling suffocated by the negativity and distractions that surrounded him, could no longer bear it. He went to his master one morning, seeking guidance and relief. With a troubled look on his face, he bowed respectfully to the master and said, "Master, I can no longer stay in this temple. The environment here is toxic, and it is preventing me from practicing my spiritual life. The monks here are filled with negativity, gossip, and politics, and I feel that I cannot grow in such an atmosphere. I want to leave this place and go to a peaceful, quiet monastery where I can find true peace and focus on my spiritual journey." The master listened carefully to the student's concerns, nodding as he spoke. After a moment of silence, the master asked, "Why do you feel this way, my student? What is it about this temple that troubles you so deeply? Tell me, what exactly is it that you have encountered here that makes you want to leave?" The young monk explained in more detail, expressing how he felt surrounded by toxic energy. He spoke about the monks who engaged in endless arguments and power struggles over trivial matters, monks who gossiped about others behind their backs, and monks who were more concerned with the faults of others than with their own practice. He felt alienated, as though the negative energy of the monastery was poisoning his mind and blocking his progress. "Master," he said, "I do not think I can continue my practice here. It is impossible to focus on my own path when I am constantly being pulled into the chaos of others." The master, ever calm and composed, did not immediately respond. Instead, he stood up slowly, walked over to a small table and picked up a spoon. He filled it with water and turned to face the student monk, his eyes filled with wisdom. "Before you make any decisions, my student," the master said gently, "I want you to do something for me. One last favor, and then I will let you go to the peaceful monastery you desire." The student, eager to leave and find peace, agreed readily. "Of course, master. Whatever you ask, I will do." The master smiled and handed the spoonful of water to the young monk. "Take this spoonful of water," the master instructed, "and carry it around the entire monastery. Be sure that not a single drop of water is spilled as you walk. When you have completed this task, come back to me." The student monk, eager to please his master and complete the task, immediately took the spoon and set off. He walked carefully, concentrating intensely on the water in the spoon. His only thought was to ensure that not a single drop was spilled as he walked around the monastery. With every step, he was hyper-focused, adjusting his pace, ensuring the water remained steady, his entire mind fixed on the spoon. Hours passed, and the young monk finally returned to the master, his face beaming with pride. "Master, I have completed your task. I carried the spoonful of water around the monastery, and not a single drop has been spilled. I was focused the entire time, and I did exactly as you instructed." The master, with a quiet smile, nodded. "Well done, my student. You have fulfilled your task. Now, tell me this, while you were walking around the monastery, did you hear any of the monks gossiping? Did you hear any of them discussing politics or talking negatively about others? Did you hear any complaints, criticisms, or idle chatter?" The student monk paused for a moment. He thought back to his walk. His mind had been so absorbed in the task of carrying the spoon without spilling the water that he had not heard a single word of gossip or negativity. He had not noticed any of the distractions that normally irritated him. He looked at his master and replied, "No, master. I was so focused on the spoon of water that I did not hear anything. I did not hear anyone speaking ill of others or engaging in idle chatter. My only concern was the water, and nothing else entered my mind. The master nodded once more, his eyes filled with compassion. You see, my student, when you are truly focused on your goal, when your mind is set on your purpose, you will find that the distractions of the world fall away. The noise of others, the negativity, the gossip, the politics, these are all distractions. When you are completely focused on your path, you will not be bothered by the things that once seemed so important. You will no longer be disturbed by the opinions and behaviors of others. The student monk listened intently, beginning to understand the wisdom in his master's words. The master continued, "In life, no matter where you go, you will always encounter negative people. There will always be those who try to pull you into their drama, their negativity, and their complaints. They may gossip about you, criticize you, or try to distract you from your path. But if you remain focused on your own journey, you will find that their words and actions become nothing more than background noise. They will no longer have the power to disturb your peace." The student monk's face began to brighten as he grasped the lesson. The master went on, "The key to happiness and fulfillment lies not in escaping the negativity of the world, but in finding your own focus. If you are always running away from negativity, you will spend your entire life moving from one place to another, always searching for peace. But the truth is, true peace comes from within. It comes from the ability to remain grounded in your own purpose, no matter where you are or who you are with. If you focus on your own life and your own goals, the negativity of others will not affect you." The young monk felt a deep sense of clarity. The master's words were like a light shining through the fog of his confusion. He realized that he had been allowing the negativity of others to distract him from his own practice. He had been focused on the behavior of those around him rather than on his own path. In that moment, he understood that peace could not be found in an external environment. It could only be found within himself. The master smiled warmly and placed a hand on the student's shoulder. "Remember this, my student. The more you focus on the words and behaviors of others, the more you will be pulled off your path. The more you concern yourself with the negativity around you, the more it will take root in your own mind. But when you focus on your life, your practice, your purpose, when you remain true to your own path, the world around you will no longer have the power to disturb you." The student monk bowed deeply to his master, his heart filled with gratitude. He understood now that his happiness and peace were not dependent on the actions of others, but on his own ability to stay focused and true to his path. "Thank you, master," the student said. "I now understand. I will no longer be distracted by the negativity of others. I will focus on my life and my practice, and I will find peace within myself, no matter where I go." The master nodded, his eyes sparkling with pride. "Go now, my student, and remember, wherever you are, focus on your life, your purpose, and your peace. And in doing so, you will remain untouched by the noise of the world around you." With a heart full of wisdom and a mind set on his path, the young monk left the monastery, knowing that he had learned one of the most important lessons in life, the power of focus.